Hey, it's day 6 of 30, and I just got done recording a video and it crashed, like literally as I finished recording. It crashed, you know, there was a moment where it was buffering for a second and then it was just like, poof, disappeared. Went back to my saved videos and it wasn't there, and I was like, okay, gotta record again. So, topic of today's video, and by the way, it's 9:01 a.m., so I'm definitely going to be late. I am already late. I'm recording when I'm supposed to be publishing the video. Topic for today's video. I want to talk to you about something that I think we all pretend to know, but we don't really know. But if we did and it really landed for us, it would change our lives. It's something that would change our experience of social media, of marketing, of all the things. And I actually learned it when I was a kid. So I'm going to tell you a little story. When I was a kid, I had to travel a lot because of my family situation. It's not as fun as it sounds, trust me. So I was in, I think, 11 schools, 11 homes. I was on 5 continents before I turned 17. So that should give you an idea, okay? So I was in different schools, different cultures, languages, things like that. I was always the new kid. Every time I would make friends, I would find my place in school, and then shortly after, all right, pack your stuff, we have to leave. So I got to experiment with who I wanted to be so much. I think that's one of the biggest blessings that I had from these painful experiences, is that I got to play this, I wonder how would people respond if I did this? I wonder how would my experience in school be if I did that? And so I basically tried all personas in schools. I was the shy kid. I was the artistic kid. I've always been the artsy type. I was the artistic kid. I was the kid who had her head in the clouds. I was bullied, and then I was like Miss Popular. I was all of the personalities that you could possibly imagine. I tried all of them, okay? It was really fun. It was really fun. Even though in those times it didn't always feel fun, but it was fun looking back at, what it was preparing me for. So, one of the things I noticed, that no matter what culture you're in, no matter what age, no matter what language, no matter what time, I've seen this with small kids, I've seen it in high school, I've seen it with grown-ups, I still see it today. One of the things you start to notice about people that is very interesting and curious is that everybody wants to be recognized. Everyone, no matter who they are, at what age, what time. Everyone, when I say everyone, I mean to varying degrees, but most people deeply, deeply desire to be seen and recognized. Most people are walking around with unrecognized pain that they have not given attention to. They're walking around with this knowledge, this knowing that they have potential that is beyond untapped. It's not even discovered. They don't even know. They just, when you're like driving and you have this blind spot, but you can kind of sort of feel like there's something in your peripheral vision. That's exactly what I'm talking about. That knowing that I think I might be God. I might be an infinite being. And as they say that, their butts clench because it's just so scary. So like, no. I'm just the duality of being a human being and an infinite being at the same time. We are all born with this sense of knowing. We know that we have this infinite potential within ourselves to be pretty much to experience an infinite number of possibilities. There's a cutie here. I'm going to grab her. I'm going to have to say hello. You keep coming here. Hi, my name is Dolly. I'm a baby. I'm a baby cat. Go, sweetie. Where's your toy? There you go. Catch. She likes to catch. Okay. All right. Where were we before this cuteness interrupted us? We all have this desire to experience all the personas, the characters, the avatars that we can play. I think when we say we want to experience so much more of life, it's not death that we fear. We fear not experiencing life in its fullness. That's why when you have a beautiful day that's filled with meaningful, fulfilling things, at the end of the day, you feel so good. You feel accomplished. And your anxiety is down when it gets dark outside. But then when your day is over and it's time for you to go to sleep, but you didn't use your time wisely and you didn't experience the fullness of who you are, it feels like shit. It doesn't feel very good. And if you do that over and over and over, you start to feel like you're dying. We're not meant to be just one person, one persona, one character in a lifetime. We're meant to play with different avatars. And I got to experience that as a kid, and I continue to do that as an adult. It's a lot of fun. Anyway, so everybody desires to be recognized, to be seen, because they haven't developed this self-trust and self-love, enough self-love. Everybody loves themselves unconditionally. They just don't recognize it. There's always a part of ourselves that loves us. But I'm talking about this more aware, conscious way of like, I love myself and I accept myself fully and I see my own greatness. Like most people haven't developed that. They haven't developed that. And so because they haven't given themselves permission to do that, they so desperately want that to be reflected to them by other people. They want other people to validate them and say, yes, what you've gone through really sucked. That was painful, I can imagine. They want other people to say, yes, you are XYZ character trait, you know. They want other people to validate that because they think their own opinion of themselves doesn't matter unless other people agreed with them, unless other people saw it, unless they earned it somehow in some way. They did something. It's always an action. It's always a getting something from outside ourselves that is somehow going to prove that we are XYZ. And then somebody else seeing that and going, yes, you are XYZ. And then you're like, yes, I am XYZ. You see how twisted that is? And so most people are walking around with that. And on social media, it is not different. It's exactly a reflection of real life. Everything that's happening offline is happening online. Now, of course, human behaviors change a little bit on social media. There are certain things that people do on the internet they don't necessarily do in real life because, you know, our identity is masked a little bit more on some platforms. And so maybe certain behaviors feel more appropriate online, but they don't feel appropriate in real life. But the reaction people get from them is the same. It's the same. That's the reason why you go and, you know, and pitch slap somebody. If you don't know what a pitch slap is you send a sales DM to somebody who doesn't even know you. And you try to sell them something and they immediately, like, they turn away, they don't respond to you, or they get mad at you or ignore you, because that's exactly how it would work in real life. If you try to walk up to somebody you didn't know and you immediately like, hi, did you know that I can solve all your problems? Like, of course that person's gonna look at you like, what? You know, it's weird. And so, yes, some people feel bolder and would do that online where they wouldn't do that in real life. They wouldn't walk up to somebody and say stuff like that. But the reaction you're going to get from the other person is the same, because human psychology doesn't magically change when we go online. It's just that some of the social settings change, and that brings out a little bit more or less of people. You know, it gives them a sense of more freedom, you know, not really freedom, but they become more uninhibited. Anyway, you get the point, right? But people are people, whether they're talking on the phone, or they're responding to an email, or they're talking to you face to face, or they're sending letters. They're the same person. So, if you can be that person who doesn't need to be validated by the outer world, and instead of going on social media and being like everybody else, like 99.9% of the world, looking around and looking for who can recognize you and who can see you, and instead you're actually listening to people, you're recognizing them and you're seeing them, I think I don't need to tell you what would happen if you're able to be that person. I think you can imagine, or you can try it for yourself, or maybe you're already doing it for yourself, but if you're not, I would give it a try. Now, some people do this, but they're psychopaths, you know, they're narcissists, they use it against people. But I trust that most people who would want to do this sincerely want to do it because they want to be that person for someone else. And most people don't have a single person in their life who will actually listen to them, genuinely listen to them, because everybody is so busy trying to be seen. So if you can fulfill that for yourself, that is, in my opinion, the true meaning of filling your own cup. All right, I hope this helps you or gives you something to think about. Until tomorrow, until I see you next time, take care, and I'll talk to you soon.